last year. Dampier threw for almost 3,000, ran for over 1,000, and that put him in elite company.
Yeah, we'll get into that company later. The only thing he did poorly there was...
And now the question becomes, can he take what he did in the Mountain West in high-level college football? He pitches it out to the edge, and a first down out to Smith Snow.
Sure. The other part of that New Mexico triumvirate on offense.
The first run is straight up the middle, and that moves the chains with Sean.
Back coach with him. So far, so good on this first drive.
One of the best total offenses in college football last year at New Mexico.
John Vaughn's, replacing only probably the best linebacker in a long time here at UCLA.
Got our first flag of the night.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 88. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Buchanan, also a tight end.
Motion Parker at the backfield, tight window throw.
That ball on that inside armpit to let it turn up.
First third down of the night. Back to the right, throw to the left, and Utah converts out to the edge again with their two-way player.
Seen as a returner, as a DB, doing it all.
He got 11 on that play, and this is where Dampier is excellent on the run to his right. And UCLA gets answer like, yep,
yes, exactly.
Please do that after 4 different starting quarterbacks last year.
Pump and go.
Not there. Dampier to his left, to the end zone, off the hands, and incomplete. 10-1 in the 100. Big fellas in there on 3rd and short, and Utah moving that pile ahead behind that experienced and physical offensive line. They keep the heavy personnel in there after using the extra offensive lineman with Olsen to punch it ahead on 3rd down. Now inside the red zone for the first time for Utah. And Akari
assignment football against a guy like Dampier, and space is his friend.
And Nate Johnson in there in motion, and Dampier keeps and drives ahead to the 3rd. Excellent, as those numbers showed you in starting games fast.
0 blitz.
And out to the edge, it opens up, and a first drive score for Utah. Sean Parker, welcome. Season, Jason Beck comes in, and those numbers that were near the bottom of the Big 12 in offense last year should...
Not only athletically, but his leadership style, his leadership skills, and another guy that can see that play action.
Accurate to one of the new guys they've got involved on offense.
Secure that ball high and tight.
Great finds from Olympus for Utah. Walk on. And a tremendous athlete is defense. How do they handle the physicality of this big front? Who likely sends 2 tackles to the NFL after this year.
Did not cross the neutral zone, so...
Dampier crossing him up. And a first down as he 2 scrambles. We've seen him get down right in front of danger. Dampier has him on the edge of the red zone again. Smith Snowden, 3rd catch already. And a nice open field tackle.
Way a great trigger man in space.
Averaging almost 7 yards a rush early in this game. That looked like it was going nowhere, and off the motion, they give it. Snowden active early, lunges ahead, needs the 3 catches, 1 on the ground, and prominently featured. Now Dampier taking off, and UCLA rallies to him. Jalen Woods pop down run for Utah before missing the extra point on a 75-yard drive first time. Back to the red zone again on a 2nd down. Dampier, nobody home. He's dancing again. He's got space out to the right. Now it closes, and he squirms ahead. Jalen Woods had him for a long 3 of 3 first drive, 4 of 4 overall for Utah. It's Snowden out the other way, weaving out of a tackle. He's got the first down. He jukes his way for a touchdown. 2 ways.
Their way with this front, and you get it when you see these guys in person.
UCLA showed a little edge pressure. Dampier escapes the other way through the contact. He burrows his
2.
Everything has been short yardage on conversion downs for Utah. All day for Dampier. He's pointing. He's got nowhere to go, but out the back door and safely for a first down and out of bounds.
Safely out of bounds, but a first down.
The ground where Utah has chewed up a bunch of yards already over 100 yards on the night.
The spot.
So after all that, it ends up being short yardage again. Burst in the run game with Nakari Rodgers. Utah doing this against a good run defense the last couple of years. Open man, touchdown, Dampier flies it in there to Lander Barton.
Run the ball, you can do anything. Here he's just going to sneak out that front side. A hard sell in the backfield. Jameer Benjamin.
They think could start for them at defensive end eventually. So a long field for the first time tonight for Devin Dampier in Utah. And they start with a toss. And Nate Johnson, former starting quarterback in there. He's just a decoy, and they flip it out to Rogers. Solatoa Moiai in there as an extra blocker. And Dampier running behind him. And he leans his way ahead, backing his way ahead.
It's off.
The girth of those guys up front get them off their own goal line. Dampier taking a shot. He has it incomplete, but a flag is out. Multiple flags are out. Options at play for him. First down on the ground and a first down by penalty on a drive that started at their own 5. Now escaping out the back. And that's another first down for Utah. The helmet coming.
39 and still 2 timeouts.
Utah has been literally unstoppable tonight on their 4th drive of the night, looking for another score, and that was almost dropped in there. Good. The UCLA fans are saying slow-mo always makes it look worse. Back to the ground after the shot, and this is what Utah has lived in all night. 3rd and 5 or left. Kickoff, and a few first downs. We're now in plus territory on 3rd down. Dampier around the edge, and they extra leg. They say that they can try it if they get to the 40. That shrinks this 2-minute situation as they pop it out to the edge to Bentley on the first. Saw the Jacksonville Jaguars do that in preseason. There's a fake pitch out to the edge, and Dampier's got the first down.
Them to the ground after the first down.
One timeout in their pocket. Utah to the outside, and that was caught. But
that was a great job by her. She got in front of it, protected the lens.
Then took it off back into play. Here's Buchanan, and he's quickly up. And Utah right back up in the ball on a 3rd down. Dampier keeps himself. He's met in the hole, but as a first
3 plays here if you want it, if you execute it correctly, and 2 men on the field.
Dampier has it definitely in field goal range. So in range to try it with 1 timeout on a field goal at the end of the half. They have more in it. Dampier surveying. Running out of time to the sideline, complete. I did short UCLA 1 stop, by the way. There was 1 punt from Utah.
That's right.
So 4 of 5. Scoring in the first half. Their first drive of the second half. Run on the edge and a flag out behind the play.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
The first one also came on the opening drive of the first half for Utah. And they keep it on the ground and get most of the penalty. Back coming over from New Mexico with Devin Dampier, his quarterback. Good start. Pressure backside. Chisholm couldn't get home. He spins out. This is what he does. He demoralizes the pass rush, and UCLA. 7 of 8 on 3rd downs. Utah with their first of the second half. Out to Snowden. Race to the sticks. He's out of the tackle for a first down. Tonight. And the starting defensive back has the touchdown, several catches. He's got the ball in his hands again with the line just mauling guys to get him out to the edge. Touching it 7 times too. They've given him the ball half his snaps on offense. A long throw, it's short, but dug out of there by Ryan.
Typical.
I wonder what Snowden's mileage is tonight. Another one underneath, and the turn up field leads to Davis to yards last year at New Mexico. And hooking up twice in a row. Dampier and Davis. We're back to the ground with Rogers. Burrows at the quartet that came over from New Mexico. And all those guys getting a touch on this drive. This is out to Buchanan outside. And there are Bruins all.
And his OC, but probably take a little bit longer to gel.
Patient start of the run for Parker. Powerful beautiful finish to the run for Parker. This is dominated on third down tonight. Another short one. And ahead for Rogers. And this has been a showcase of all those New Mexico transfers.
In here, be ready for a play-action home run off this at some point. And they're going to keep pounding it for sure.
Chisholm shot.
It's just different. It's different. And again, a healthy quarterback doing these things is the difference.
Snowden got a quick break, and he's set down tonight. Andrews was just in the backfield. Now he's out at tight end. And a fake to Snowden. Dampier dances and lowers his head. Big collision for a first down. The UCLA defense, 2 years in a row, that's been top 10 in the country in stopping the run. Well, they do stop the run on first down inside the red zone.
Nice play. Abnormal 1 yard gain that time for Utah.
Quick set, quick pop. It's caught. Pyle moves ahead. Behind all that poundage, another first down. Well, Vaughn's in the defense for UCLA. They've been on the field for 15 plays as Rogers ducks ahead.
Demoralizing.
It'll be 9 minutes by the time this ball is snapped. And the run is stopped. 18 plays in a row, Vaughn's. Here's the 19th. On the move, Dampier, his receiver fell down. Larry Simmons with a field goal, might as well.
Yeah.
Right? 4th and goal from the 2. Behind his tight ends, Dampier is in. Paying off the 4th down decision. As the UCLA defensive coordinator was last year, taking over for Danton Lynch. And they had a good second half defensively, second half of the year defensively at UCLA.
The O-line to patch things together against.
And all 5 starters back on the offensive line for Utah, including 2 tackles that with inside 14 minutes to go in the game. And Parker slow played it and then bursted ahead, and he's right at the line to gain. This offensive line that, according to Pro Football Focus, is number 2 in the country behind Alabama. And over 200 yards on the ground tonight. So for the sake of
closer inside of 15, as you said earlier, that's team
caught it or done both.
A bunch of unbalanced formations, a bunch of shift motions, a bunch of empty.
Back-to-back quick hitters, and their freshman tight end, who they are so high on, J.J. Buchanan. He's a that's NBA level vertical. At 40 inches for Buchanan. Rogers a short run. 3
essentially right there.
Dampier steps up, eludes, lets it fly. Open man, Merriweather swings his way inside the 5.
Just again, stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. We got to stop the run. So everybody's eyes again in the backfield. Little double move action to the big boy.
It is likely by the end of the year that
elite football intelligence, Notre Dame and Cal, makes sense.
Utah wide open man. Dallin Bentley in for the score. And Utah pouring it on in Pasadena for the Utes. 2-point try. Take it, pitch it. And UCLA rallies up with John Vaughns to stuff it. Love it.
Just an all-out effort play, a combination action, pressure up front, and Reynolds the beneficiary.
And Utah 8 minutes away from 1-0. They give it to Andrews. They flashed into the backfield all night, and the tight end showing his skills in the run game. Who brings up 1st and goal. And out to the edge. And shy of the line cipher for the defense, and that's definitely played out in real time tonight. On 2nd and goal, it's Rogers turning his legs, and he is in. Makari Rogers, his first Utah touchdown, and the Utes pouring it on.
The Big 12, their neighbors to the south in blue will not be very excited about Devin Dampier and his execution tonight.
Especially after they lost their quarterback.
Yeah.
Jake Retzlaff, BYU's quarterback, was set to be suspended 7 games, so he hit the transfer portal at BYU. Won his first game at Tulane today. And Utah definitely has the conference's and the country's attention with this result. Here's Ficklin, who has a similar skill set as Dan Pierre. Keeps that pile driving. A little burst, a little power for the backup fixture at New Mexico. So this is more of the same, translating to the upper level of college football. Ficklin out to the corner again, and he is set down. Seen 6 different guys score touchdowns. And the number 2's in there. And we've seen linebackers and defensive. Third down and 1 for Ficklin in Utah, and another first down. And UCLA not stopping.
Games coming up on paper, but they just got to execute and finish. And Utah has a great schedule ahead. And the funnest kind of adjustments and corrections are victorious.